Hey Brenda, I'm going to make this screencast to show you how to do transcripts in NVivo. So I've already have the file open. I'm going to go to interview number 1 and just double click to get, let's see if this one, no 3 had, there we go. No media content, so I'll have to download that again. I'm going to close that out. Let's try 3. I know I looked at one of these and it was okay. Yeah. So it'll say Hangouts on air, and you'll control this. And I'm going to make this a little smaller so they don't really see her. And notice how it starts out with the time. It's going to be a little bit different than YouTube. You're going to control everything from up here. And you never want to hit stop until you end a part of a person's talk. So the way I transcribe, I like to have the entire thought within one bracket. So as they're talking, I keep it all in the same bracket, and when it's time, and if I ask a question, then I'll hit stop. But it'd be easier just to show you. So the first thing you need to do is click to edit. And now you're in edit mode, and you're still in media, and you also need to be in transcribe mode. So click on this guy up here. So that puts you in transcribe. You can do the playback speed here if you want to make it go slower so you can kind of keep up with it more, or whatever you want to do. I tend to put it a little bit slower. Sometimes it's harder to understand what they're saying. If it's not very clear, you got to speed it up so you can understand it a little better. And then you hit play. And notice when I hit play, it started this again.
So how
so I put
long
CC.
have you been, or did you teach? I should say.
42 years. I
and then I'm going to
started
go
in
back
the fall.
like this. Let it play.
So how long have you been, or did you teach? I should say.
And then I'm going to hit stop because I know it's time for her to speak. And I'm going to label her T1. I'm going to hit play again.
42 years.
And notice it made another, it started the next time frame. And this one I'm just going to delete because I didn't really want it. So right click, delete. Okay. And now I'm going to put T1. And then I'm going to start typing what she says.
I started in the fall.
And since I missed it by doing all that, I'll just go back a little bit.
42 years. I started in the fall of 1972. And I started out as a special ed teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry?
Did you say?
Okay, now stop. Don't worry about the earlier question that I had. And I'll put, what was that? And then play again.
You said you started out.
Again, rewind a bit to get to the right point.
And I'm sorry?
Did you say, you said you started out?
Okay, now, just the key things. Said you started out
As a special ed teacher, did you say?
out as a special ed teacher. And did you stay?
No, I
And
went
then go
from
back a bit.
Did you say, you said you started out as a special ed teacher, did you say?
no.
And then stop again because that's when she's going to start with her main talk. Play.
No, I went from special.
And sometimes you have to hit the pause a few times. And this is actually T3, so let me change that.
Did you say, you said you started out as a special ed teacher, did you say?
No, I went from special ed teacher to assistant principal and then principal. And then I got married at age 35 and we relocated. And so I went back to teaching because I had 3 stepchildren and I was pregnant. So
Yes, so why not have
had 3 stepchildren and I was pregnant. And so I went back to teaching because I had 3 stepchildren and I was pregnant. And then I got married at age 35 and we relocated. And so I went back to teaching because I had 3 stepchildren and I was pregnant. So,
yes, so why not have something else?
right, so why not have something else going on? So in 1
I'm
year,
going to
we
stop it at the end of that
had
sentence.
3 stepchildren and I was pregnant.
So I'm going to actually hit stop, and then I know when I come back, also I will actually probably put my little comment there. Hit save, and then you're done. Now that sounded odd because I had it low. I had it kind of slow, and I can put it back to regular speed as well. All right, now again, the main thing here is you control up here. You only want to hit stop when you want to end these sections, because that's what does the time frame. If you end up with an extra section that doesn't make sense, you can then click on to this one, and you can always, you saw I deleted that early one because it's not what I really wanted. Sometimes it's a little odd. One thing I do too, after I do 2 or 3 of these, when I get to a stop section, I'll save, because the save does some funny things too. Sometimes it might put an extra little thing in there. And plus NVivo, you probably noticed already, prompts you to stop about every 15 minutes to save, and I don't want it to do that in the middle of a section. So that's why I try to remember every 2 or 3 I'll save. I'm trying to make sure I'm under 15 minutes on the save. So remember, you're going to have that enabled. To edit up here, that you're going to have to click first. You want to make sure you're in transcribe mode. And these are that's to your very beginning, to your very end. This adjusts your volume, adjust your speed of the playback. Play, pause, and then stop when you want to hit those hard stops to end the time frame. And then the T's for those. All right, I hope that helps, dear.